All right, greetings. Time for something completely different. I got a commission from Gerry. Thank you, Gerry. Gerry wanted me to teach him a guitar solo, and he said he would pay me money. And I said, okay. This is the intro solo to Lou Reed's Rock and Roll from his live Rock and Roll Animal album from 1973. One of the greatest 70s guitar rock albums ever made, featuring the guitars of Steve Hunter and Dick Wagner, two of the great unsung guitar players from the 70s. Steve Hunter went on to play with Alice Cooper and Peter Gabriel, and as did Dick Wagner went on to play with Alice Cooper. They were so good, in fact, that Lou Reed fired them. They were basically stealing Lou Reed's spotlight at every single concert, and Lou Reed couldn't have that, so he fired the two phenomenal guitar players and went with two lesser talented guitar players for his remaining tours who wouldn't steal Lou Reed's spotlight. So anyway, this is the intro solo. I will get to the main solo in a separate lesson. This solo is about a minute long. I did not have any backing tracks. There are no backing tracks for this one, so I made my own. It's just simple 4/4, 130 beat per minute, 3-chord rock. So it was pretty simple to throw a backing track together for this one. I'll put it down there in MP3 format. You can download it if you like to play along with, or you can play along with the original recording. I'll do a little performance video of this one first, and then we'll dig into the main body of it and teach you guys how to play it, and especially Gerry. And anyone else wants to learn this one, just send me money. Just kidding. It's now up. It's paid for by Gerry, and you want to learn this great intro solo from Lou Reed's Rock and Roll Animal. Here it is. So let's get into a performance of this one first, and then we'll dig into the main body of it. So let's get started. About the tuning on this one before we get started. We are in drop tuning. We're tuned down one full step from standard. If you listen to the original recording of this one and try and play along with it, you'll find that you're playing in C and soloing in C major. I've watched a number of performance videos of this one by Lou Reed, and they're always playing in D, which means that they're tuned down one full step. So I am tuned down one full step, and you'll need to be tuned down one full step. Here's your tuning. And being tuned down one full step, you have to be careful when you're bending notes, because your strings are much looser now, and you'll tend to overbend the notes. I know that I do, so be careful of that. So if I overbend the notes once or twice in this tutorial, you'll know why. So let's get started. We're working in D major, the D major scale with this one, and you'll find yourself mostly working in the relative minor box of B minor. So we're going to start with an open A, and then we're going to slide into 5 on the A string. Now you can play this one of two ways. I like to play it here because it keeps everything compact, or you can slide from 5 on the low E up to 10. But I like to do it here. So I hit the open A and then grab a note down here. Don't really grab a note, just at the 1st or 2nd fret, just kind of lightly grab the string and then slide into 5. this. That's open D and then 2 to 4 on the D. And then we're going to slide 4 to 5. And then we're going to slide back to 2. For 2 notes at the 2nd fret. So from the top. Then we're going to do this. So that is sliding from, not really sliding, on the 4th fret of the D string. We're going to move up to 5 for 2 hits. And then a little pause, and then you're going to, another 2 hits at the 5th fret of the D. So, from the top. And then this. And that's 2 on the G, up to 5 on the D, and then sliding 4 to 5 on the A. And then finishing up with another note. So the whole thing from the top. And now we're going to start the whole thing over again, but this time before we do, we're going to have a little down, up, down on the open A before sliding into 5. And then this again. Open D, 2 to 4 on the D. But this time we're going to go. So we're going to slide 4 to 5, and then on the D, and then we're going to hit it 4 times, or 3 times, I think. Yes, and the 3rd time, you're going to slide back to 2. So from the top of that whole section. And then this again. 4 to 5. But you're going to slide out of it. And when you slide out of it, you're going to grab the 3rd fret of the low E and hit it twice. So that whole second part of it again. And then this again, which I already showed you. 2 on the G, 5 on the D, sliding 4 to 5 on the A. And that kind of covers the first section of the solo, which is more melody line really than solo. Now we're into the solo. Now we're into this part. And that's 7 to 8 on the D, down to 7 on the G. And then we're going to grab the 9th fret on the G and hit it 3 times. Pulling off to 7 of the G. Then we're going to grab the 10th fret of the B with our pinky and the 9th fret of the G and giving it a full step bend. And then we're going to bend that note again, and when we get to the top, we're going to hit it 2 more times. And then release it, and then release to 7. And then we're going to go 9, 7, 9. Sorry, I went one too many there. 9, 7, 9. And then this. And that's bending at 9 on the G, and then releasing to 7, and then back to 9, and then 3 hits at the 7th fret on the G, and then 9 on the D, back to 7 on the G, back to 9 on the D, and then sliding out of it. So that whole little section. One more time. And now we're into this. And that is 7 to 9 on the D and down to 7 on the G. And then we're going to grab the 10th fret of the B and bend it 4 times, 4 full step bends, picking the 1st, 3rd, and 5th time. Sorry, that's wrong. 1st, 3rd, and 4th time. So the second time you're just bending without picking. And then you're going to grab the 7th fret of the B. And then grab the 10th fret of the high E. And then bend and then release. And then bend again. And then release again, and when you release this time you're going to pick the note. Like that. So and then this. So you're going to bend a full step bend at the 10th fret of the B string, and you're going to grab the 10th fret of the high E with your pinky, and with that note still bent on the B string, you're going to hit it and then release it. And he kind of, you can hear him hitting kind of both of those notes at the same time when he's doing this. And then 2 more hits at the 10th fret of the B. And then this. And that's hammering on release from, what is that? 8 to 10 and back to 8. And then 7, 8, 7, 8 on the B. So that whole little section. One more time. With a little vibrato there. And now we're into this nice little chromatic run. That is 7, 8, 9, 10 on the D, 7, 8, 9, 10 on the G, 7, 8, 9, 10 on the B, and then down finishing up on the 7th fret of the high E. But faster than that. And then you're going to hit the 7th fret of the high E again. And then you're going to grab the 10th fret of the high E. And then you're going to hammer on 7 to 10 and back to 7 on the high E. And then grab the 10th fret of the B. and then grab the 7th fret of the high E again, and then grab the 10th fret of the B and give it a full step bend. So that little, after the chromatic run. One more time. One more time. And then we're into this. Sorry. So that is pulling off 10 to 7 on the high E, up to 10 on the B, back to 7 on the E, and then pull off 10 to 7 on the B string twice, and then 8 to 7 on the B string, 10 to 7 again, 8 to 7 again. Sorry. And then you're going to grab the 9th fret of the G and then down to 7 of the B, and then this 9 7 9 7 of the G. Got that? Slowly. And then we're into the final phrase of the solo. We're going to slide into 14 on the G string, and then we're going to grab the 15th fret of the B, and then we're going to grab the 14th fret of the high E, which is basically your D shape. And then we're going to grab the 17th fret of the high E and give it a full step bend. And then you're going to release it to the natural note at the 17th fret. And then you're going to grab the 17th fret of the B string and give it a full step bend. And then you're going to grab the 17th fret of the high E and grab that note. So where are we? And then you're going to release, like you did before, you're going to have that bent, still bent at the 17th fret on the B, and then you're going to release it. So and then you're going to release that to the natural note, and then you're going to grab the 15th fret of the B string, and then you're going to grab the 17th fret of the B string, give it a bend, and then release back to 15. So from the top of that. One more time. And we're going to do this. And that is pulling off 17 to 15, grabbing the 16th of the G, back to 15 of the B, and then full step bend at the 17th fret of the B, and then release into 15. And then we're going to grab the 17th fret of the high E and give it a full step bend, and then you're going to hit it 3 times while you have it bent. And then so now we're back up to the B string. You're going to give the 17th fret a full step bend, release to 15. And then 17, 15 on the B, and then a full step bend at the 17th fret. So from the bend, no, from the top. A little vibrato. And one more time. And that is how you play the intro solo to Rock and Roll by Lou Reed, played by Steve Hunter and or Dick Wagner. I'm not sure which one played that solo. I'll get to the main solo of this one in the next lesson. I hope that helped you out, Gerry. And anybody else who wants to learn this great intro solo, you can thank Gerry for finally having a tutorial now for this one to figure it out. So hope you enjoyed that. I know I did. I love Steve Hunter and Dick Wagner's playing, two of the great unsung players of the 70s. And that's it. So we'll get to the main solo maybe in a couple of days. And you take care of yourselves. Ciao.